Hi, America. Welcome to Angel and the Wiz.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Ah, guys, cascade, whatever they say. We want to be very good. Discipline this week, 27:30.
Okay.
As best we can, 27:30. Okay,
I
now
have
I have a topic too, but I'm gonna put it on the side now because we started on this. In the break, we started on the new conversation of pregnancy, etc. She tells me that all of a sudden she knows 6 people that are pregnant, and my question to her was: are these pregnancies that we wanted to have, or these pregnancies that
Or accidents.
that are accidents?
Like, oops.
And let's talk about that. I mean, because that's dangerous, isn't it? Is the camera okay? Is the picture
Yeah, it's
okay?
fine.
Okay. Do you have enough air time?
Yeah,
I can
good.
always move it a little bit.
It's good. Stop touching it.
Okay, go ahead. So talk to me about pregnancy. Yeah, I mean,
First of all, I have no experience about pregnancy,
Me
nor am I pregnant. So
No.
don't anybody think,
No, me
don't
either.
be sending any congratulations
No,
to me
no.
because they ain't nothing to congratulate.
right. I never been pregnant either.
Well, good for you. That's
I
a good
never
thing.
even was
If you were pregnant, we'd be calling some like the CDC or something here.
Okay, and the other thing that I would share with you is am I not pregnant, but nor have I don't think I've ever even been responsible for a pregnancy.
Well, that's a good thing.
You ain't kidding. I mean, I have one question about 25 years ago I'm not sure about. No, 27, 20, 30, maybe 30, 70 something. In the 70s. I have one, that's the only one I'm not
You're
sure
literally
about.
like, maybe.
I mean, you can't be saying 73. How many years is that? 30,
I
35,
don't
36 years ago?
I'm on summer
So that's it.
vacation.
So I don't know. So I don't remember that. Okay, but now we were talking about pregnancy. We were talking about you mentioned to me that you knew 6 people. Time
Well, I
approximately.
maybe exaggerated the
Okay,
6, but
okay,
quite a few.
But you know quite a few people that are pregnant. And my question to you was, were these planned pregnancies or were these surprise pregnancies? And you were about to answer, I have been waiting.
Okay, so there, 2 of my friends are pregnant, but they are married. They got married last July, and then they became pregnant in December, January-ish time. So they've been married. They were married for about 6 months before they were conceived a child, which is exciting. But then I also thought, so it wasn't necessarily planned on their part, but both couples are very excited that they are having children and that they get to start their family. And I am a little, I think I would be excited if I got pregnant then, but I also would be a little frustrated with myself because, you've only been married for 6 months, and they've been living together prior to their marriage for several years, but still it's, you're married and there's a honeymoon period and they just bought a house, and, it's like all these things that you, and then boom, here's a child, and so you don't really get to enjoy that togetherness as a true married couple.
Right. To savor that
yeah.
for a while. Savor that for a while. Because let me share with you that once a child comes, that's it.
You're screwed.
For the rest of that, well, I don't know if they phrased it quite that way, but I'm just saying that once the child comes, the child is there forever.
Forever. Yeah,
Children never grow
just
away.
because they grow up and move out of the house and get jobs of their own doesn't mean they ain't going to call you for help. Because
don't. Absolutely.
I can tell you that I've, even in the last 2-3 years, and I'll be 31 soon, that I've had to call my mom and dad for help with various things.
Actually, when this airs, you have become 31.
Yeah, by the time you see this, I'll already be 31.
She'll be 31.
Be 31.
She has the same date as Tina for birthdays. So we were going to celebrate today, but today's a tape day, so we're going to celebrate on the 26th. I'm going to take them both out to dinner, and we're going to have something really, really nice, and then whatever. Tina wants to watch a Disney movie, but, you can always get out of it. Tina loves Disney movies. But now, wait a second. Now, you told me about all these people remain nameless because, you might know them if you're watching us, especially in certain places. Now, the people that were together for 5 years, have they gotten married?
No, not yet.
But they're having?
Yes.
Now, they've been together. Now, let me just...
It's been discussed, and
Right.
they have both...
Did they
from what I was
decide
told,
to have the child?
I don't know. I think that was a surprise.
How can you have a surprise?
But they're both excited about it.
Yeah, excited. That's one of the words that might come up, but I'm just saying. I mean, and because and the only reason I say this is because, first of all, I wish them the very best. I wish anybody in that situation the very best. But just because you've been together for 5 years
doesn't mean you're ready
I was with
to be a parent.
Listen, I'm almost dead and I'm still not ready to be a parent. But I mean, I was with a girl for 3 years, and then something happened. 6 months later, we got married. We decided to get married. 6 months later, we broke up. So I mean, you just never know. And here I've been with Tina for 27 years.
Everything's been great.
It's been great the whole time, and I knew going in it was going to be great. So I'm just concerned about now, and this is also a couple. We'll call them couple number one. They've been married for 5 years. They talked about having children before this, or not? They just had their relationship before this.
Let's say couple number one and couple number two have been married since July. Couple number one has been together for about a year and a half. Got married.
Okay.
Couple number two has been together for about 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
Has gotten married. Couple number three has been together for 5 years. Not married. Not married.
Now, let me start with number three then.
Okay.
Did they discuss the
I don't
opportunity to have a child, or this just something that happened?
I think it's something that happened.
Now, can I ask just like a dumb question, because Tina's been on the pill forever.
It's a fabulous thing.
Once I will tell you that when I met Tina had 4 brothers, had never really had a girlfriend. I explained to her and taught her most of what she learned about being a girl.
Right.
Okay.
And that makes sense in a situation where you don't have. Is she
opportunity.
the youngest?
No.
No.
But she had
brothers. Yeah, it's
brothers.
different. It's a lot different.
Right. Okay. So the thing was now. So she took her pills. We never had an accident and stuff like that. So I mean, aren't these? There's couple number 3. I mean, I'm not asking for secrets, but I mean, weren't they on birth control or something?
I don't know.
Oh, we don't know. Okay.
I'm assuming not.
Well, they've been together for 5 years. This has all been Russian roulette.
No, I'm sure that. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Here's what I do know with birth control, that certain antibiotics decrease the effectiveness of birth control. So
really?
Let's say that I'm on birth control and I have to be on these amoxicillin. Let's say I have to be on amoxicillin for 2 weeks, because that's pretty standard. 14 days when you get sick, they give you. Well, that decreases the effectiveness of birth control. So if I am ovulating, now ovulating and then having a period are 2 different things.
Okay.
If I am ovulating, which is happens 7 to 10 days prior to the period, start of the period, if I'm ovulating and on those antibiotics and taking the pill, I could get pregnant.
Wow.
Because the ovulation period is the prime time for pregnancy, for conception.
Okay, ovulation, that is when the egg is dropped down into the uterus.
Yes, and the egg is waiting for
the contact with the sperm.
Yeah.
And then the period follows to nurture that. Is that the normal order that it happens
in? The ovulation is when the egg goes into the uterus and awaits a sperm.
Okay.
If there is no sperm there, then the egg is released, and that's when you get your period.
Oh, okay. And that one is the cause of the other? In other words, a period follows the release of the egg?
Yeah, a period follows the release of the egg. If
well, let me tell you, the parents that used to let their kids watch this show, they just ran out of it.
But maybe this might be a good way to introduce it. Okay. If when you're on birth control, when you're on birth control, the pill prevents the egg from attaching to the uterus.
Okay.
So that's why they say it's 99% effective.
Okay.
Because there is that 1% chance that the egg can still attach itself to the uterus and I can't even think of the right word, but fertilize. Fertilize. Okay. So if the egg is fertilized and during that time and attached to the uterus, you can still carry a child.
Okay.
So there have been, not a whole lot, but there have been several cases where a female has been on the pill, has had her period, and has been pregnant.
Even though she had the period and it was was passing through.
Right, because eggs were still being released and passed through. One had attached itself, probably
this
higher.
This is a rare case.
Rare cases, probably higher up in the uterus.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Wow. Aren't you glad we don't have diagrams this week?
Yeah.
Okay. Now.
I mean, not that I mean, I couldn't look at a diagram. I don't know what this stuff looks like.
No, I know, but you've obviously described it in
Yeah.
a purely, you know, that every 5-year-old kid that was watching, the mother's now hanging out the window. Okay, so now that's couple number 3. Now let's go. Couple number 1. Now they've been together for how long?
Maybe a year and a half.
For a year and a half.
They got married.
They met. They liked each other. They fell in
They
love.
were friends first.
Okay.
They were friends first.
That's
then
always
they
good.
were probably really good friends, and then they grew apart. You know,
They separated.
They separated. You know, not so much separated, but I kind of look at it this way: is with really adults in relationships and maturing is you might be friends with somebody and you're walking the same path for a while, but then you need to take separate paths for a little bit, and those paths come back together.
Right.
And you know, you've grown and matured the way that you needed to, and then you come back together and continue on your lives together. So that's, I think, what happened to them.
Are they young people?
They're younger.
Okay.
Than me, you know, as like their mid-20s or something.
Okay, just curious.
So they were married for 6 months, and then she was on the pill, forgot to refill her prescription.
Forgot to fill. How do you forget to fill your pregnancy prevention material?
It is so easy. I do it all the time.
Really?
I mean, not forget to. It'll be things like, or you don't realize, because it's so habit. You go in, I take it every day,
Right.
and then I look and I'm like, oh, you know, I come to that last week and I'm like, oh, I need to fill my prescription. Well, I take it at 6 o'clock in the morning. I take it, I'm like, okay, I need to fill my prescription. Then I have to go and get ready for work, have to feed the cats, and I'm running late. Yeah, it gets lost in that thought process. So it's not until like
scary.
It is, yeah, it is scary. And then you go and you get the prescription refilled, you know, but you still have pills to take, so you don't think to go pick it up until you look, and then you're out of pills to take, and you're like, crap, one, did I refill it? Yes, I think I refilled it. And then the second, it's like, okay, I have to remember to go pick it up. Well, I have to pick it up on my way home from work, and by then I'm thinking, okay, well, when I get home, I have to do the laundry and have, you know, and it's another, it just gets lost.
Right.
So there have been times where I'll.
Now, what do you have to do? Take 2 pills the next day? Is that what I heard? Okay.
If you skip a day, you take 2.
Okay, so now, back to couple number 1.
Okay.
Okay. They were together for about a year and a half. They grew apart for a little while. They came back together. Scares me a little bit. Did they decide to get married after they returned together, or were they married when they walked apart?
Oh no, they were single, and then they
split for a while.
Yeah, they split. They weren't dating; they were friends. They went their separate ways. They came back and renewed their friendship.
Right.
Became very, very close, and they started dating. And they were maybe officially dating for a year and a half.
Okay.
And you know, officially dating for 6 months, I think.
Right.
And then he proposed to her.
Right.
He proposed to her on July 4th last year.
Okay.
2 years ago, and then they got married in July last year.
Oh, okay. So I mean, that's I would think that sounds like a very fair amount of time to get out, you know, to have something happen if it's not right.
Yeah.
I mean, not always, but you know, it's okay. So now, they got married in July after being together for about a year after he proposed. Blah blah blah. Okay. Now, this pregnancy was not planned.
Right.
This happened.
Happened.
But they're married. They're together. And how are they reacting to it?
They're thrilled.
Okay.
They're very excited. I think they were shocked at first. And
I
then,
can believe that.
Yeah, you know, because you didn't expect to have a baby right away, and then, but they're both very much into having a baby. She's actually going to be. She might have her baby by the time this airs.
Oh, really? It's that close. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Okay, so now, that's couple number 1.
Mm-hmm. Couple number 2.
Couple number 2.
They've started dating in another state. Both moved to here, and then lived together, and they've been together for probably 4 or 5 years as well.
This isn't couple 3.
No, this is not couple 3.
Okay.
They've been together for 4 or 5 years, and then they knew they were going to marry each other, and then it was just saving up the money to buy the ring and saving up the money to have the wedding.
Oh, sure.
And that's what they did.
Okay. Now, and tell me about this pregnancy. How did this pregnancy? Was this planned?
You know, I don't know.
Okay.
I really don't know. I didn't ask that. When I had found out that they were pregnant, because I'm actually very good friends with the husband, and he was not in work one day, and then he came back the next day, and he just looked really exhausted, like emotionally, just emotionally exhausted.
Oh, I bet.
And I asked him, I said, is everything okay? And he goes, my wife is pregnant and there was some complications and I spent all day yesterday, it was like all day Sunday and half of Monday in the ER with her while they were trying to figure out what was wrong. And he goes, but everything is, the baby's okay. Or it was, they couldn't, they thought the baby was okay, but it was still too soon because to get any ultrasounds, it was too early. It was yes, you're pregnant.
Too early in the process.
Too early in the process for any ultrasounds, or even heart detection. Even though they say the heart is beating after 18 hours of conception or whatever, that doesn't mean that you can hear it in the stethoscope.
Wow.
So all they knew was that she was pregnant. So so he was, and I just was like, well, I'm sure she's going to be fine. And I gave him a hug, and she's still pregnant now, and they're due in a couple weeks too.
What? Nobody knows who these people are. So what was the problem with the baby? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, they didn't find out.
I don't know. He said that she had really bad pains in her abdomen, and it could have been something like gas pains or a little bit of a stomach bug or something like that. But when something happens down there and you're in the early stages of pregnancy, it's a big deal because
of course it is.
Because huge pains like that can also mean
something else.
Yeah, something else. Sometimes like that, it's the body's aborting the baby.
No, tell me about that. What do you mean?
The body is not.
The body aborts the baby. On purpose?
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, it's not like I say abort the baby.
No,
but,
I know that.
But it's there's for some reason the wife the woman might not be healthy enough to carry the baby or get at that time. You have to remember that the nutrients the body. The nutrients from the mom are being given to the baby as well. Right. And even though they might be a healthy person, there could just be other issues down there that say that, they can't carry this. So. Okay,
so in other words, what you're telling me is that, because this is all new to me, I never heard this, is that the body itself can abort a pregnancy. Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I never heard that.
That's why a lot of women don't announce they're pregnant until after the first trimester, because during that first trimester, anything can happen, and the baby won't be, the baby will be aborted.
Yeah, can you give us any insight as to what might cause that?
It could be things all the way from stress to eating food,
A bad diet.
Bad diet, but like the body, when the body gets pregnant, it goes through a lot of huge hormonal changes in a very short time. So if the woman suffers from intense morning sickness, the wear and tear of the vomiting, anything, and it could be anything.
Yes.
So
in other words, the body starts to protect itself.
Yeah.
From this alien, you know what I mean?
Yeah, this foreign substance. It's invading its space.
Wow, that's really fascinating. I mean, wow. Okay, now, couple number 3 we talked about, roughly, right? Okay, we said they've been together for 5 years. They are surprised, about to be parents.
Yeah.
How are they taking it?
Good.
I mean...
I think there's a little bit of a financial concern.
I can believe that. Because the mom can't work, what happens?
Oh, there's a maternity leave. Federal law says that women have to be placed on maternity leave for so much, and each business has a way to decide how maternity
leave.
Paid. Well, it's not always like in the school system where I work. In my school system, you use up your sick days. They give they give a week of paid maternity leave plus you use up your sick days.
Oh, okay, sure.
So if you're a new teacher and you don't have the longevity where your sick days build up, you're kind of in trouble.
Right. Okay.
But so then you have to go without pay.
Right. Now, okay.
But it's 6 weeks, and usually.
That was my next question. Yeah. Is 6 weeks the normal standard time?
Yes.
From a time
that's
mom
how long it's
delivers.
And that's pretty much how long it takes for the body to heal itself from everything that's gone on, and readjust hormone levels and And you also want that time because that's where it's mother-baby bonding.
Right.
Within the first 2 hours, 2 to 4 hours of a baby's life, they're going to know who the mother is. They will sense who mom is.
Right.
And they will always know from that point on who mom is.
Now, does that mean that it's very important that when you're, wherever you're birthed, that the baby is brought to the mother right away? Do they do that? Do they bring it right to
I mean, not
them?
necessarily. You know, right after birth, usually the mom is not in any state. I mean, she can. The movies are very deceptive.
Right.
You know, most people don't take the baby and plop it right on the mother's arms because she's exhausted. She's been in labor for anywhere from an hour to 12 to 24 hours. You know, it's things like that. So they usually give it to the dad,
right.
And then after about 20 minutes, and when they kind of, you know, clean, you know, everything's cleaned up, then they hand it to the mom.
Okay.
But it's like I said, it's within that first
couple
hours, the baby knows who mom is.
Now, you said something else, too, that is interesting to me, seeing as this week we've delved into pregnancy, is that the body has to heal from the delivery, from the pregnancy.
Uh-huh.
Wow. Now, in most cases, there's no surgery involved. It's just a delivery, or is there always some type of
let me put it. They cut. They have to cut. You know, it's like taking a watermelon and pushing it out of your hoo-ha.
Okay.
That's what happens to us. For you guys, take a quarter and push it out of your hoo-ha.
Okay.
They're going to have to cut a little bit to get that quarter out.
Really?
And that's going to have to heal. Yeah. Oh, yeah, they cut. It's standard procedure.
Really?
And then you get stitched.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's why it's common practice to give epidurals as well, which is a relaxation and pain-killing drug.
Okay, I mean,
let me also say I know a lot about delivery and pregnancy because my mom is an obstetrics nurse.
Oh.
So she works the night shift, and it's not uncommon during the night shift because the doctors have to be called in.
Right.
Or there might be one doctor on duty at the hospital, but if there's
Multiple
two people,
births.
two people go into labor at the same time and are ready to push, well, the doctor's in one spot, they call the other doctor in, but when that baby's ready to come, the nurses,
Mom has to do it.
the nurses will deliver. So my mom has delivered several babies as well and stuff.
So what is it? Is it minor surgery?
It's not considered surgery. It's just, you get cut and you get stitches. But you have to also remember that, like, the mom is gaining a lot of weight. Her stomach is all the way out here.
Right.
And now this, because there's this watermelon inside, and the watermelon comes out, and, there's like a deflation.
Right.
The body has to readjust itself to the change. Yeah, it 9 months they've had a foreign object in it, and now this foreign object's gone. It's got to readjust, reset the hormone levels. It's a lot that goes on.
Does that mean now? Whoa! Does the body think of the child as a foreign object? Or it doesn't see it as a part of itself.
It sort of does. It's a part of the body. It's like protected. It's kind of also like a foreign substance. You just have to imagine, like, your space is being invaded by an object.
Right.
And then you take that object out. Well, now your body has to reconfigure itself.
Right. Well, I mean, let me. I think we'll get through this. Okay. We're going to try. If we should go away quickly, we'll deal it. Man, I've learned more about pregnancy in this show than I have up until I didn't. But obviously you've got great background, from your mom and stuff like that. Okay, so now, did we miss any that we did? 3 families. Are there others that you?
There's another person that we know that's on her second child.
Really?
That you and I both know.
Really?
Yeah, it's her second child.
Okay.
But she's, things seem fine with that. That, I don't think.
Does it get easier?
Oh, I don't know.
Well,
Maybe.
I mean, I was just, you're our authority, so I have to ask. Now, that's a question I want to, now, please, I'm not getting political.
I don't know if it gets easier or not, because each pregnancy is different. I've heard stories from listening to people at work saying that, their first pregnancy was bad, their second pregnancy was good, their third pregnancy was bad. I was a piece of cake until I was born. I got stuck.
You came?
I was coming out, instead of coming out like this,
right.
I was coming out I couldn't wait to see the world. is how my mom described it. But then
I
I got
believe it
stuck
too.
because, like, you know, the smooth surface of the head
Right.
is
Which
what
is supposed to
which
guide
is
the way out.
And so like I was a mess. My sister, I've got two younger sisters. The middle sister, it was a complicated pregnancy, and the third one was pretty easy, you know.
Wow, you know, because and when you talk about having this great, you know, unit, I mean, and I really understand that. That's why I have to tell you, I look now, ever since Sarah Palin, because she had 5 kids. This is not political now. We're talking about just moms, but she's svelte. I mean, she's, you know, she doesn't show. I mean, some women have 1 child and never go back. She's had 5 kids now, but I see that
but
she also exercises every morning. She does a lot of running. So, would it be safe to say that that really does have an impact?
Exercise?
What you do
Yes.
after?
Oh, absolutely. Because you're eating. People say you're eating for 2. You're eating for 2.
I've started to look at ladies where I'm working, where I see that they have a few kids. I'm kind of looking at them to see how is their tummy going back in, how they, and because I wondered, because of her, this first person I ever really knew that had 5 kids and didn't show it, and when I watched the TV show, I saw that every morning she goes down and she does exercises.
Yeah.
So that's a key thing, a key ingredient.
Yeah,
or is it the
huge.
body too?
It's a little bit of both. You have to think of what was the person like before they, you know, if you have somebody who's a little bit on the heavier side, who has a baby, they're not going to become 130 pounds.
Right.
You know,
They were big before.
they were big before. But if someone like me was to have a child, I could easily become I could easily during the pregnancy weigh 200 plus pounds.
Wow.
Yes. And then afterwards, you know, you have to lose that weight. A lot of it comes off naturally because the body, you don't consume as much food anymore.
Right.
But there will become a point of time where I might be floating at 150 pounds, and I'll need to, I need to exercise and diet and eat the right things because I would have to come back to this. On a personal note, I was told that I should not get pregnant by my doctor, because my cervix is very weak, and if I was to have children, my cervix can't hold the baby up.
Gotcha.
After a certain point during the 3rd trimester, when the child's the heaviest, I would have to be on bed rest.
Wow.
Full bed rest. You know, go to the bathroom. I wouldn't be able to stand on my feet for a long time.
So it would be dangerous.
It would be detrimental to mine and my health and my child's health.
Okay, well, and then you've been, you know, you're aces when it comes to that. I mean, and you've accepted that. Okay, listen, we have to say goodbye because we're going to be do due diligence, and the doctor will be back next week. I have no idea.
No medical professional license.
No, she has a mom.
I have a mom who's a nurse.
Okay, so even if it's something small, do something to make the world a better place to be. Okay, bye.
Bye.